Auschwitz.
Just in Auschwitz or everywhere?
Auschwitz.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's other places also, right?
What?
There's other death camps also, right?
The other concentration camps.
Oh, I was in order also, but there they choose me to work.
Right.
So after we came to Auschwitz, I went to work to Plaszow.
Mm.
So this is not really, is it
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Let's see what the
Let's
next
go to the
question
next
is.
question. Well, I think
'Cause I'm
another
sure it's gonna
question has
cover
to
it
do
all.
with that, Yeah. What was your profession and how did that affect your life? So.
I guess we're talking about after the war.
It killed me.
No, after the war.
Yeah, it killed my nerves.
Yeah.
I am always thinking about the siblings and father. I never had a mother and father.
Yeah. So I think by this question I'm gonna ask you if before either before the war or after the war, what you did for work or did
After
you stay
the war,
home?
After we survived, I married. We survived 4 sisters, and we were in Germany after the concentration camp,
You were in, what are they called? You were in the
DP camp.
DP camps.
And then we got, for 4 years we were living in Germany
Wow.
and had to go for a little soup to the kitchen after the war.
For 4 years?
For 4 years, for 1945 till 49, we came in 49.
Wow.
Okay,
We
then
didn't have it so good.
then you moved to
Then
to
after 94, we came in 90.
49.
I was liberated in Bergen-Belsen. It's a concentration camp, Bergen-Belsen.
okay, yeah.
I was in about in three places. Plaszow from Auschwitz. Then we came back to Auschwitz. They selected me twice. And then from there we went Neustadt. And then from Bergen-Belsen. 3 places. And in Bergen-Belsen, 1945 we survived.
Mm-hmm.
The Englander, the Englishman, how do you say?
Englishman. He's from London?
Yeah, they liberated us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were in Germany, and from 1949 we got a visa in Germany to come. Yeah, you can write I was married in Germany 2 months before I came, and we came to America 1949.
You went straight to Philadelphia?
Pardon me?
You went straight to Philadelphia when you got...
If I would tell you the
1945
story,
you went
you
to
would
America?
cry for me. Pardon me?
You went to America in 1945?
49.
49.
4 years. They liberated Bergen-Belsen in
I was
45, sometime in the beginning half of the
4
year.
years
April?
in Germany after liberation, and then we came to America, to Philadelphia. And from Philadelphia we were 3 years. You couldn't keep Shabbos. Zaidi was very froh, and he could get a job. And that time everybody had to work. It was, when we came to Baltimore, it was hardly a million here. People were not from because they had to go to work, the Jewish people. If you didn't go to work, you couldn't live. And that's why it was no Yiddishkeit. So we came to Philadelphia. We were there for 3 years. And then Zaidi couldn't get a job. So because of Jewish law, prohibited Shabbos working. he came to Germany, Zaidi, and right away he went in a yeshiva in Frankfurt. other boys, they had a good time, they get with the girls, they made business with the German, made money. He went and sat down and learned that. So anyhow, so when he came to, he was a yeshiva bucher. So when we came to America, he wanted to work on Shabbos. So it was very hard to live for me. And I had your father
Mm-hmm.
in Philadelphia. And he was not working. And we paid $30 rent in a little room by a butcher upstairs. The Hayas gave us a little money. And then the Hayas said they don't want to pay anymore. I had to sign, I will have to pay it back. Now the Hayas give for everybody, the Russian. So Zaidi went and looked in a paper and he found that advertising that Strawberry Mansion, your Bubby comes from Strawberry Mansion. Bacheva's mother, her father was a butcher,
Right.
and he was living in Strawberry Mansion. It was a very nice neighborhood there. So they advertised. It was an advertisement that, how shall I express, they're looking, there was a day school upstairs and downstairs the ladies auxiliary hall.
Right.
If somebody, they have on the third floor an apartment, a little room and a toilet, and I don't know if it was two rooms, I don't know. And that will be for free for cleaning. And I took your father by the hand and went to clean.
Wow.
And he was so good, such a good. And that's how we left. And I went, we didn't have money.
Was this in
And-
Baltimore? Or
No, in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia?
And I went in a fruit store and I told them I don't have money. And they told me I should go in the back. That's how we had money.
So if you want to write what the profession was, you could say that Bobby, when she came to
I don't
America.
understand.
You know?
I don't understand. I just tell you how we were struggling.
Right.
And for Pesach, it was Pesach, and nobody gave us money. And I don't have nothing, so I went to a hardware store and I told for the man, listen, it's Pesach and I don't have money. I don't have dishes. He took me and I said, I can cry, and I should take, for seconds, whatever I want, I should pick up.
Right.
That's how we lived.
Right.
Anyhow, so now we came to Philadelphia. From Philadelphia, I was there 3 years, and we came to Baltimore.
You moved to Baltimore because you found a job there?
Zaidi found a little place store, and he opened with his brother-in-law a little fruit store in Fish. You know how much fruit he sold? A year after, he couldn't bring me a cucumber or a little vegetable. I couldn't give for the children because they hear the same thing. The people, they work on Shabbos, they work, and the men brought home the money Friday, and the ladies went shopping. Shabbos, they shopped, and we were closed. Monday we opened. You know how much a dozen cucumber a week is sold. Nothing.
Really?
Now we were struggling. We paid $5 for Haider, and I couldn't pay that even. I mean, that's how we lived. Nobody gave us the penny.
Well, he opened it with his brother?
No, it's a Czech bone, you know.
Brother-in-law,
His brother-in-law?
Yeah, bone.
Bobby's sister's husband.
Yeah. And life was very hard. And we came without a penny to America. I didn't tell you that. I don't know if you want to know. When we came to Philadelphia, and we didn't have no money, and they put us in a room with a lady, a kitchen I could use, and one bedroom upstairs. And it came Friday morning, and I wanted to make Shabbos, and I don't have money. And I knew, Zaidi's a friend, came to the border, to to the ship, and he gave him $5 money. That's all what he had. And I want to go shop, and I said, "You have $5?" And he said, "Well, look here, he doesn't have, he lost it."
You lost it.
So I said for the lady, "How can I make Shabbos?" She says, "Go across the street," and there was a Jewish guy, he understands Jewish, I didn't know English, and tell him, he will give you on the zettel. So I came and he said, was can I get? And I tell him, I don't have money. He says, "Take what you want." I was afraid to take a lot. I took a challah and an egg and of the least for Shabbos. That's how we started. You know how we started to live? That's our hard life. So anyhow,
So, and that answers a lot. Bobby's getting into a lot of the questions. The first question you asked, what was life like in your childhood compared to life today?
Right.
You probably would modify that question, make it more interesting, is what your life was like earlier on. Like, because that's definitely like a very interesting question and answer.
What was life
And a lot
for
left.
you
it was very hard.
when you were a
Yeah.
child, and then
Yeah, so she answered that question.
right, and then
Okay, here you're going to like this question, Bobby. Question number 3. Because Avi's busy with his free time. He flies his helicopter toys, and he rides his bike,
Oh, yeah?
and he watches videos on his little machines.
Oh yeah?
So the question for you is, what's the question?
What did you like to do in your free time as a child, and what do you like to do in your free time now?
We didn't have time.
Well, what type of toys did they have in Europe?
We didn't have toys. From a schmata I made that or a ball. We didn't have nothing in Europe. No.
But he's getting that. These are good questions and good answers.
And here I have everything.
We know Bobby did. Bobby likes to go swimming.
Yeah. And,
She spends time with her grandchildren.
and Bobby's old. And she can walk.
She bakes.
If she used to be.
You don't bake anymore, really? I haven't seen.
I gave up everything.
But you could write that anyway.
I used to bake challah till about 4, 5, 6 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Everything. I can't look my fingers. Look,
Oh, wow.
arthritis. And I used to make very good challahs and cake. No more. I can't. My legs are hurting.
She swims. What did you say? Like 3 things?
I said you could put baking anyway. It counts.
Yeah, who will go?
And swimming and hanging out and spending time with her grandchildren,
Right.
children and grandchildren.
She has a lot of children and grandchildren. Three.
Enough to keep Bobby busy full time almost.
Yeah. You know how many grandchildren can have?
How many grandchildren? Great grandchildren.
Great-grandchildren.
Oh, right, you have to write great grandchildren too. Children,
Till
grandchildren, and great grandchildren.
Till not long ago I had 50, now I will have 54.
54.
Regie Wilhelm Meertje, Abram Israël. En
54 great grandchildren.
Shlomed en
Kanai Nahara.
54 great-grandchildren.
Wow. Do you write 54? Write that. With her 54 great grandchildren.
We have to make it up.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that the questions are answered with most interesting answers.
So I don't think I might not write in the same words as I'm writing it down here. And
That's going to be the answer to number 4. The answer to number 4, what did you want to do in your life? She wanted to replace what Hitler took away.
What Hitler killed.
That's the answer to number 4.
Hashem helped me.
yeah. So what did you want?
Hashem helped me.
So
to
I think
survive.
what I was trying to say with this question is the question was what did you want to do in your life, and have you accomplished it?
And the answer
I
is
wanted to study, but I couldn't. Hitler didn't let Jewish people to go to school.
so. The answer Bobby's saying is the answer to that question is Bobby wanted to replace what Hitler took away, and did you accomplish
And
it?
Hashem helped.
Did you accomplish
And she has 54 great grandchildren. So yes,
And my sister has by 100.
She wanted to.
replace.
That's also.
That's an accomplishment.
And 1 of 1 million. I swear. Either
Mm.
1 of 1 million. They would never let nobody in land like this. And I showed when we came to Auschwitz. I had for the guy who selected. And he says, for sure, I should run away. I should not tell nobody. I tell you, you can cry for me, what I went through.
Crazy.
Crazy. One time, an assessment wanted to take me. He said he's bringing tomorrow a car and take me to Auschwitz.
Really?
Yeah?
Okay, so this one.
Hold on, wait here. You covered a lot of the questions.
Yeah.
That's a good one. We'll save that for last.
What is that?
Okay.
We could go skip to that one, and then there was a little bit of you could do a little bit of politics, and then we'll end it with that question.
Well, I like these two.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
What is
So,
it?
this is like,
It's a good thing you are with it.
Yeah.
what do you think the new president should do for the country?
You write, you know, you're smart. Write in my name.
Bobby's saying what she's going to agree
do
with
you
whatever
think?
you write.
What do you think with the new president?
The interviewee is becoming the interviewer.
Nice.
Pretend you're being asked the question, Avi. What do you think? What's the question? What do you think the new president should do for the country?
He should work for Eretz Yisroel,
Yeah.
Okay, Avi, now you got something,
because this is our holy land.
and it's America's greatest ally in the Middle East.
Yeah. Without Eretz Yisroel, we can live. It's a Jewish homeland.
You wouldn't have had to wait 4 years in Germany for visas. You would have had a country that would have taken you in right away.
Look what they did do now for the Jamaica people now.
Yeah.
They don't wait for visas. And we were, not only me,
Yeah.
nobody had to wait and be sick till we could.
But in Israel, when Russia collapsed, and Yemen let people go, and Iran, and 20 times in the last 50 years, Israel opened its doors to all these refugees, and they weren't around in 1945.
Look, when Hitler came in Germany, and they took Germany a ship. You know that story with the people.
And they didn't let them in,
And
right?
they came
They
in
turned it
already
around.
here
Hmm.
to America, and they sent them back,
Yeah,
and they killed them all.
right. That's why Israel is important.
Did you ever see the book Incredible? There's a book called
Just came out about Bobby. Is it?
It's kind of new.
Yeah.
What
So
is it?
it's about it's centered around the man, Rav, and his about his life story and his heritage. And how it tells a bunch of his father was in the Holocaust, his grandfather-in-law. I think that's what it's called.
Wow.
Like whatever. It's a bunch of amazing stories about people in the Holocaust and like.
They've killed the whole family, all our uncles and the aunts and everybody.
Right.
By me. I had my father's brother, he was 20 years old, 21. And when Hitler came, he took the boys in hard labor. Heidi was also in hard labor. And you know what they did? They a lot of boys, they put them on barrack and made a fire and burned them and sent the clothes back to my Bubby. My Bubby got sick and she died in a year. Such a beautiful young boy. You don't know what Hitler did. Unbelievable. I hope never will happen again.
Right.
So what else, you know?
Okay.
You could ask the Kennedy question. That's
Right.
interesting,
Oh,
man.
we'll do
You should
that.
ask that to Zaidi also one time.
Yeah.
What?
Where were you
Where
when
were
President
you
Kennedy was shot?
When President Kennedy was shot.
Do you remember?
Perfect, yeah.
When the president
President
was shot?
Kennedy, remember?
We were already in
1960.
America. I think in Baltimore, no?
Mm-hmm.
Did you like? Were you like?
I think Bobby was far focused on feeding her family probably back then, and not as much as the president. Remember what happened? Where you were doing right then?
Oh yeah.
I think Zaidi said he was in 7th grade or 6th grade.
Who?
My father was in 6th or 7th grade, I think.
It was very
Avi's age. He was your age.
It was very sad. We saw it on the television. Whichever.
Yeah, I'll get it in a minute.
Okay, so what should we write down for that? For number 7.
In Baltimore, she watched it. So if you're watching, it was probably you were living on Park Heights, right?
It was very sad. Everybody loved him. He was a nice guy, very nice president.
So you watched it on television?
Yeah, we watched his funeral. Yeah, it was very sad. I think Russia killed him.
Could be. Could be. There's a lot of theories out there.
Okay, another question. What was your best memory?
Or favorite memory? Is that a
Favorite
better
memory.
one? Is that best memory means like what do you remember the
Oh,
best?
Sure.
What's your favorite memory?
The best memory was that when I met Zaidi,
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
because the camp had to empty, and I was single in Germany, and I went to the train station.
When she met.
Her husband.
You want to hear? I
Yeah.
went to the train station to go to see Tata Miriam. She was on the way to go to America. And here comes a boy and walks, he goes also to the someplace. He comes over and asks me where I am going, and I tell him. He said from where I am, and I tell him, you will not know. I tell him a bigger, because it's a little. He says, tell me, and I said, Lockheed. Who for Lockheed? Lockheed me. Oh, I know. His father was a rabbi by us in the house.
Wow.
He taught me the alibis.
Wow.
And I come to my sister and I said, Miriam, you know who I met? The rabbi's son. Lichu, the rabbi's son? Is he married? I say, I don't know. Because the train came and I come home from her and she says, you remember? My mother said that we should give him a big kuvvet because he has, for the rabbi, he has a big beard because he has a very nice son. And she would want him for a son-in-law. And he went from our house to home and told his wife that he would like a girl from our house.
Wow.
So when I met him and I came home and he's there already, he came back. He was from the yeshiva. And he has a friend and he asked about me. And the friend was from his place. And he said, listen, the girl is a very good girl. I wanted her, she didn't want me, it's true. He was halishing for me, but he was 35 years old. He had a wife and 5 children they killed. And I didn't want him. I said, I don't want another man. So he was a shot, he said, very good for me. 5 weeks we were married.
Wow.
So tell him that was how can you
That's
explain
good. That's a good answer. Avi, did you get all that?
I get all. I got.
that Bobby
He has to go back and type it up. You typing it up the answers anyway? You remember all this? So I'll help you remind you. Because he's not going to write it all down. He's going to type it up anyway. When he types it up, he'll write it in more detail.
His father said the same thing with my mother, and they were working from, Angel was working upstairs, because I didn't have where to go. The camp already was finishing up. It has to be empty. My sister went already to America. And what shall I do? I thought I would kill myself. 18 years old, what should I do? But I didn't have nobody. And here comes Zaidi. Anyhow.
Yeah, that's good.
So what?
Okay, so next question.
Yeah, this one I said
So
save.
this one we'll save for later.
Which one?
So, should I do 8?
No, we did 8 already.
Oh, I guess I did 8.
It's a,
8 was where were you during World War II and how did that affect you?
Right, we covered that.
already.
yeah, I was in Auschwitz.
Yeah. So let's do 9.
Mm-hmm.
What lesson did you teach your children, and do they still follow them today?
So what lesson? They should be good Eden. They should study good and pray a lot. That never should happen what it happened to Bubby. No?
Yeah.
I thought when we will be liberated, they will carry us and look what's going on. You know, I love those children, but I am so afraid for the future. Such anti-Semitism.
Do you think it could happen again?
Yeah, like I said, every 70, 80 years. Yeah, they don't like us, openly. Somebody said that we need a Jewish army, Eretz Yisrael. Do the Goyim say? Do they protest that so many in Israel things happen? With the knives, with Shech, with what? We don't have a home yet. Do we?
No.
No Goyim will talk for us, to say good for us.
Mm-hmm.
The same was in Europe. Every guy was good with us. My mother used to bake a cake and take for the ladies when they have children. We were on very good terms. If Hitler came, everybody would kill us.
You getting that, Avi?
It's a big anti-Semitism.
Get down because it's, I don't know.
We have to pray a lot. It shouldn't happen again.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
And then, mark this, we have to pray very much that Mashiach should come.
Right.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Mashiach has to come.
Okay, and last and final question. What advice would you like to give me?
I would advise you should be a heerlijke Yid, a good boy. No?
A mensch.
A mensch.
Honest.
Honest, right. Tell me.
Generous.
Yeah.
Generous, right? Give to people who have less than you.
Zaidi was very good. You should only grow up like Zaidi grew up.
You should grow up to be like your grandfather, great-grandfather.
Right.
I should.
And your father
honest.
too.
Wait, what do you say?
Honest. It's ehrlich.
Yeah.
Interchangeable to a
So
certain extent. Mensch.
So your father is very early. Herschel also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And your children
Yeah.
also.
And you should grow up to be like your great-grandfather.
So I will give you a tape when their grandfather passed away and what Rabbi Kostelovitz was crying by the Levaya. I have the tape.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I could listen to it with Avi. Or what? It's a video or audio?
A video.
A video?
Shall I give you?
I don't have a place to watch it. It's on a cassette, right?
Yeah.
We don't have a thing to. We should make it digital.
Hi.
Zaidi, I think, has one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't want to lose it. Maybe we'll come over one time and watch it a different time.
I have. You want to plug it in and see if it works by.
Here?
Yeah.
We could.
It will take a couple minutes. Yeah.